everybody, welcome back to those who have been hanging with me some time, and welcome to those of you who are new to my channel. I'm Lavine, intuitive and medium. Okay guys, sorry it took last week, but summer hours are I'm adapting and reorganizing and figuring it all out. It's been a little tricky, and also I've been doing lives. If you haven't noticed, I've been doing lives a lot lately, and if you haven't noticed, then you should. I'm doing live readings and a little chit chat. I would love to play like all the music I love, but YouTube won't let me. I'm playing the copywritten, pre-approved music and things like this. And I've been doing a bunch of lives lately, and it's been really awesome. And if you haven't seen me read, you should watch. I'm actually going to be doing a few this week, and you should check it out. And it is donations, but it's donations optional. Donations are appreciated but not required. But I do donations for guaranteed readings, just like the first 10, just to make it fair for everybody. And also, I'm going to be doing a class. The class is on how to use your intuition for prediction. So what I mean by that is I talk about your intuition all the time, but what I don't explain to you guys is that using your intuition to be able to see your day and week and kind of harness it to quote unquote predict the way things are going. So I'm excited about that. A bunch of you signed up. You can still sign up for that. And lastly, I am giving 50% off of my readings because of the price of gas. So the code is GAS. 50% of all my readings with the code GAS, because it's ridiculous, you guys. What is it there? Here in LA, it's $6.50 a gallon. Let me pause for that. Yep, ridiculous. So it's affecting everyone and everything. I'm hearing it in all my readings. So I'm just doing across the board 50% off of all my readings with the code GAS, and take advantage of it. And you can share it with anybody who wants to use it as well. Okay, let's get started into the video today. The video today is how to open your third eye. So I'm going to give you some pointers of things you can do to start opening your third eye. And if you're going to take my class on Saturday, this will help you because your third eye does help you with your intuition. So one you want to start with right away, number one, is exercising it. And how do you exercise it? And that's what I want to talk about. Number one is to exercise it. So let's just say number one is to exercise it, and I'll explain how. You want to start by obviously being in kind of a relaxed state. You don't want to start by like, okay, I'm, running to work, or I'm getting dressed and I'm putting on my clothes and I want to exercise, or everyone's making complete havoc in my house. You want to be in a relaxed state. You want to be calm. So lighting some incense, playing some music, and kind of dropping the day, dropping the week, let it kind of fall off of you and relax. So this isn't one of those things. Sometimes I tell people, oh, zone out. And, like my last video, I talked about that. This is like, you definitely want to be in a relaxed state. And then once you get into the relaxed state, you do want to focus on your third eye. So when I say your third eye, I know that there's really a gland here that people talk about, but it's also relative in the sense of an example of honing your sixth sense. So for some of you, that third eye may be feeling, it may be hearing, it may be tasting, it may be smelling. But just for today and giving this video, let's just focus on all of the feeling part of it, because that is really how you start to open your third eye. So if you relax yourself and you kind of drop the day, then let yourself, second thing you want to do is to focus on what you're feeling. So after you kind of let yourself just kind of breathe and have a cup of tea or whatever relaxes you, and play some music, and you give yourself like 10 minutes to just relax and kind of be in a place where you're not thinking of the million things you need to get done, then you could lay down and you can just close your eyes, or you can be awake with your eyes open. But once you're in that state, the second thing you want to do is to focus on what you're feeling. Now, once you focus on what you're feeling, you may come up with like, I feel anxious, I feel sad, I feel upset, I feel angry. Take those and toss them aside, okay? Because those are all your emotions. That's what you're feeling emotionally. So toss all of those aside. And then once you toss all of that aside, go, what do I feel? Do I feel like there's a heaviness in the air? Do I feel like when you're focusing on what you're feeling, you're focusing on what's around you, the energy you're sensing around you? Do I feel a lightness? Do I feel giddy? Because you may feel what isn't even happening. In other words, you may be, those emotions might have been anxiousness or anger and all those things, right? And you toss those aside. But then when you focus on what you sense, is what I mean by feel, you're like, I don't know. I feel relieved. I feel light. I feel like things are going to be okay. And it may not make sense to the emotions, right? Okay. Then the next thing you want to do is then you want to focus on a question. What is it concerning you? What is really on your heart? What is it that you want to have the feelings, the third eye about? What do you want to put your sixth sense on? So if it's about work, if it's about a friend, it's about, family, then write that down. And before you write that down, sorry, I forgot to say, write down the feeling. So write down whatever you feel like. All of a sudden you're like, I feel lightness. I feel like things are going to be okay. I feel a heaviness. Write that down. So then you can clearly see, okay, I know that's what's going on. That's the energy around me. Then you want to focus on a person or place or thing, whatever it is that you're concerned about. And then lastly, you want to see what, again, we're going to circle back to what you feel about it. Now, if those emotions come up again, where I feel anxious, I feel tired, I feel angry, I feel this, then toss those aside. Then look back and focus on it again and go, okay, but what am I sensing about it? What is coming up for me here? And if you focus on that particular subject and you're like, I don't know, I feel like it's going to be okay. I feel like it's all good. I feel positive. Write that down. And that way you kind of have a chart you can look at that you've gone down the list of things. You can recognize the difference between your emotions and what you're sensing. And that is how you start to open your third eye. That is where you begin. And you can do things throughout the week that kind of keep feeding that, meaning like massaging that open, like having that third eye, like kind of find its way. And how you do that is you do things that emotionally connect with you, but it's not emotional. So in other words, you're going to go from the heart. So during that week, if you're like gardening, if you're, that's when you do bring those things into play. If you listen to music, if you go for a jog. And when you're doing that, you kind of focus again on the sensory. So even though I gave you the steps of lastly, I'm just going to throw out something you can add. Here's a little extra credit. There's a little extra credit for you to work on. And the extra credit would be when you're out through the week, after you take those times to do those things. And I would do them like maybe about, a few times a week. And let me know in the comments below if you feel like you've done something like this or you feel like you've accidentally done something like this, and kind of share your experience with that. Or let us know, come back after you've watched this video and let me know like you've tried it and what you experienced. That would be really awesome. So the extra credit is that during the week, while you're doing other things, while you're busy, while you're in the throes of life, if you stop for that moment and you kind of go, okay, what is it that I'm feeling about what's happening right now? Like everything's stressing me out and I'm feeling upset, but let me toss it aside for a moment and let me just see what I'm feeling. Meaning you're exercising it. You're trying it on for size. You're not only doing it when you're in the perfect surrounding. The extra credit is that you're doing it even when you're not in that perfect surrounding. So I hope that made sense and I hope that helped, because this is the beginning of being able to use another sense that we don't tend to use. And to me, that's really what the third eye is. And I can do another video kind of going, okay, here's a little advance, ways to advance your third eye and things. But this is like beginning to open your third eye. How to begin to open your third eye is what I see this as. And it really isn't as complicated as people make it. Thank you guys so much. Now, remember, if you could subscribe and like and all that jazz and, come to my lives, that'll be fun. If you haven't already, and I'm on Instagram. I post on Instagram all the time. I can't post my lives on here. It's really irritating. Like they've taken away the ability to like let you know when I'm going to be live. So I post them on Instagram. I'm trying to figure out another way. So follow me on Instagram, and I post some things on TikTok. Thank you guys so much for all of you who've been coming, and we've been having a good time. And it's been neat because I've been reading for some of you who've been seeing me on the lives. Follow yourself. Follow no one. Listen to your inner voice. And I'll see you soon.